Picture this. You are working on a group project. The deadline is looming and the stakes are high. Then you discover something troubling. A friend plagiarized part of their work. You are faced with a choice. Report them and risk them failing the class, or stay silent and become complicit. What would you do? This is the exact dilemma I faced last year. And as I agonized over my decision, a question crossed my mind. What would Aristotle do? Now, I know what you're thinking. Who asks Aristotle for life advice in 2025? I do. And let me tell you, asking a dead Greek guy for help was one of the best decisions I could have made. Because let's be honest, if I'd asked myself, what would my favorite influencer do, the answer probably wouldn't be very ethical. That simple yet profound question launched me into an exploration of philosophy, not as a dusty relic of the past, but as a living, breathing guide to modern life. Philosophy, I learned, is the ultimate cheat code to life, a way to navigate ethical dilemmas, overcome stress, and redefine happiness. Along the way, I'll introduce you to some of my favorite philosophers and show you how their wisdom can transform your life just as it has mine. Let's revisit that group project. My initial instinct was to stay silent. The friendship mattered to me, and reporting him might end it. But that did not sit right with me. So I turned to Aristotle, whose philosophy revolves around virtue ethics. For Aristotle, being virtuous meant finding the golden mean, the perfect balance between two extremes. Generosity, for example, lies between stinginess and wastefulness. Courage lies between cowardice and recklessness. For Aristotle, it was key to find that balance in every single situation. In my dilemma, the two extremes were clear. A cold sense of detached justice on one end and blind loyalty on the other. But the golden mean? The golden mean was courage. The courage to uphold fairness while being kind. I did report the plagiarism, but I did so with a sense of empathy, personally explaining the decision to my friend. It wasn't an easy thing to do, but it was the right thing to do. Here's what I learned. Ethical dilemmas aren't just problems you need to solve. They're opportunities to shape the person you become. Last year, I faced another dilemma, though on a much, much smaller scale. My little cousin proudly showed me a painting she made, a mix of chaotic scribbles and glitter explosions. Isn't it amazing, she asked. Now I had two extremes. Brutal honesty and tell her that it looked like a unicorn had exploded all over the canvas, or blind flattery and tell her that she was going to be the next Picasso. Inspired by Aristotle, I found the golden mean. It's really unique and it's really colorful, I told her. She beamed with joy, and I did not crush the dreams of a 5-year-old. Now let's talk about stress. If you've ever stared at a study guide the size of a dictionary and thought to yourself, there's no way I'll survive this, then you've been in my shoes. Last year, as exams approached, I felt overwhelmed. My to-do list was longer than the combined running time of all the Harry Potter movies. I was drowning in panic until I discovered Stoicism, a philosophy founded by Zeno of Citium. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and let go of what we cannot. One of its key principles comes from the thinker Epictetus, who said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Let's try this together. Think of something in your life that's causing you stress right now. Maybe it's an upcoming deadline, a relationship issue, or just the pressure to succeed. Now ask yourself, which part of this situation is within my control and which part is not? For me, the exam outcome was not in my control, but my preparation sure was. So I created a study plan, and I stuck to it. I went from feeling crushed by pressure to feeling a sense of empowerment. Not only did I perform better, I also found a sense of calm in the process. Stoicism is not about pretending like your life is perfect or suppressing your emotions. It's about resilience, finding strength in the face of challenges by focusing on what truly matters to you. Before we dive deeper, let's take a look at the numbers. A study from psychological science revealed that people who actively reflect on their values and practice philosophical thinking experience a 20% higher life satisfaction and a 25% reduction in stress compared to those who don't. Think about that for a moment. Philosophy is not just a theoretical exercise. It has measurable real-world benefits. Philosophy isn't just about problem solving either. It's about seeking happiness, or as Aristotle termed it, eudaimonia, which means flourishing. Flourishing is not about external achievements or fleeting pleasures. It's about living in alignment with your values and striving to be the best version of yourself possible. Let's play a quick little thought experiment. Imagine you have achieved everything society says you should. The perfect grades, the dream job, the admiration of others. Now ask yourself, would this truly make me happy in the long term? Take friendships, for example. Aristotle categorized friendships into 3 kinds: those based on utility, pleasure, and virtue. For Aristotle, the deepest and most meaningful relationships are those based on a sense of belonging, mutual respect, and shared values. Reflecting on this helped me prioritize quality over quantity in my relationships, focusing on connections that truly matter to me. The beauty of philosophy is that it does not demand perfection. It just asks you for reflection. The famous philosopher Socrates once said, "The unexamined life is not worth living." To think like a philosopher, ask yourself 3 questions. Am I living in alignment with my values? What truly makes me happy? And how can I grow from the challenge? The answers to these questions certainly are not easy, but they're perhaps the most important. For instance, when I faced a setback, a competition I worked really hard for but did not win, I turned to the Roman Stoic Marcus Aurelius, who said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." His words reminded me that my worth is not tied to external outcomes. It's from my ability to learn from failure, my hard work, and my resilience. Philosophy has shaped my life in profound ways, and it can do the same for you. Here's how to start. Ask yourself deeper questions. Instead of asking, "What should I do?" ask, "What kind of person do I want to be?" Focus on what you can control. In every challenge, channel your energy into actions that are within your power. And finally, seek balance. Life is not black and white. Find the golden mean in your decisions. Thinking like a philosopher does not mean you'll always get it right, but it certainly means you will be able to approach your lives with more clarity, resilience, and purpose. Imagine a world where we all thought like philosophers, where we approach challenges with wisdom, setbacks with resilience, and each other with kindness. Philosophy does not mean you'll always have the right answers, but it certainly means you'll have the courage to ask the right questions. It's about looking at every challenge as an opportunity to grow and every choice as a chance to define who we are. So the next time you face a dilemma or a setback, I challenge you to pause and ask yourselves, what would Aristotle do? What would Marcus Aurelius say? The answers might surprise you, and they just might change your life. Thank you.